Alright, fight fans, welcome to Fight Fix with Frankie BARCA. This is episode 5, covering Ufc128 from New Jersey, Shogun versus Jon Jones. So, I'm going to go through the fight card, and I'll give some fight, not analysis or predictions, but some of my ideas on what I might expect to see and what I'm hoping to see maybe at Ufc128. So obviously, Jon Jones, Shogun. Obviously, look, Shogun coming back from his win over Lyoto Machida with his second revenge fight, and just putting it on Lyoto Machida so easily. In my opinion, in that fight, Lyoto Machida did not move his head enough. You know, that typical karate stance with his head up nice and high caught up with him, definitely. Shogun had his measure. That overhand right set it up, got him on the ground and finished the fight. Shogun would have to be one of the best stand-up fighters and strikers in the light heavyweight division, and not surprising. His Muay Thai, his leg attacks, his fast hands, his agility, his jiu-jitsu on the ground, his ability to keep the fight standing, fantastic in the light heavyweight division. And that will present some problems for Jon Jones to overcome. Now, Jon Jones, you know, he's unorthodox. He's fast. Obviously, he's explosive. He's got great stand-up. He throws flying knees and spinning elbows. His takedowns are almost, you know, Sambo / Japanese / Russian / WWE. You know, very exciting wrestling. And, you know, look what he did to Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader was 10-0. A proven history in wrestling. And he took him down at will. And he submitted him on the ground. He put it on Ryan Bader. Unbelievable performance, and rightly so, has a shot at Shogun's title. Now, you know, again, if you had to write down on paper who you would need to match up or to match Shogun with to beat him, it would look like something like Jon Jones' record and the characteristics he brings to this fight. So I have no doubt that Jon Jones is going to really bring this fight. He's riding high with his confidence right now. You know, training with Greg Jackson, the boys down there, is obviously paying dividends for him. And he's a young guy. He's exuberant. He's a hard worker. He's so athletic, man. You know, we might see a change of the tables here. I have a feeling we're going to see Jon Jones come ahead and take this title off Shogun. I might look. I'm not surprised if I see a guy like Jon Jones reigning supreme in the light heavyweight division for a long time. So, you know, people might disagree. We'll have to wait and see and find out on Saturday or Sunday in Australia. And finally, you know, one thing that was very, very obvious to me once Dana White gave Jon Jones the nod to fight Shogun was when they brought Shogun into the cage after the fight that Ryan Bader lost to Jon Jones and interviewed Jon Jones. When they had them together shaking hands, the thing that shocked me was the size difference between Shogun, who is just chilling, you know, I guess training, but Jon Jones coming straight off a cut and a performance. He looked massive compared to Shogun. So I think, you know, size does really matter. Maybe when it's pretty close and the matches are very close, I've got a feeling that the person with a little bit more strength and reach and height and weight is always going to have an advantage. The fight starts standing. Shogun's a great striker. Jon Jones is too. Jon Jones can take people down as well. It's set to be a great fight. Who knows what's going to happen? I think my money's going to be on Jon Jones. I hope I eat my words, because I'd love to see Shogun getting over Jon Jones, but I just don't think it's going to happen, in my opinion, on this fight. So, let's see what happens with that. Now, moving on. One of my favourite fighters of all time, Uriah Faber, dropping down to 135, fighting against Eddie Wineland. Now, unfortunately for Eddie Wineland, I have to say that he's just a one-dimensional fighter. You might hate me for saying that, you might disagree, but Eddie Wineland's got strong hands, powerful hands, he knocks people out. But Uriah Faber's not a dumb fighter. He's a great wrestler, he's got great striking, he's got a solid chin, cardio to the max. You know, he's in the best shape of his life. I think this weight division is going to be a really, really good move for Uriah Faber, dropping down to 135. And he's multifaceted. He can submit you on the ground. He's got crazy guillotine on the ground, crazy dart strokes on the ground. He's a scrambler. He can strike. He's got good defense. I don't know. Eddie Wineland seems to me a little bit too one-dimensional for me. So let's see what happens. This is the debut for Uriah Faber for the UFC. I think it's going to be a successful one for him. Now moving on to Jim Miller and Kamal Shaloris, the Prince of Persia. Kamal Shaloris is coming straight out of WEC camp as well when that amalgamated with the UFC. This is his first time for the UFC. Unfortunately for him, he's coming up against Jim Miller. Now, I don't know if you remember what Jim Miller did against Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira is this young, super dude. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was sick, and Jim Miller knee-barred him. Unbelievable. Everybody just freaked out. So Jim Miller's real, man. Him and his brother Dan, they're Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. Great wrestling, great striking. Kamal Shalorus, he's got great wrestling as well. His striking's a little bit wild and wayward. Is it going to be enough against someone like Jim Miller? Oh, I don't think so. My money's on Jim Miller on that one. Or is it Kamal Shalorus? Or Shaloris? Anyway, I think it's going to be an early night. So either way, the Prince of Persia's going to sleep. Now, is your arms getting tired holding that camera? Yoshihiro Akiyama from Osaka. Well, I mean, to say that the whole of the nation is going to be on his shoulders, considering what's been happening over in Japan, in the wake of the earthquake dramas and the nuclear fallout, etc. I think the best thing that Yoshihiro Akiyama can do is win. But against Nate, the great Marquardt, man, at 185, I don't know, man. I wasn't convinced with I still haven't been convinced with Akiyama for a while. I know Dana White likes to talk him up. Maybe he's just trying to do it for press. But for me, Akiyama, I just haven't seen. I don't know, man. Judo background, okay, he's supposed to, apparently he's really good on the ground. He just stands there and just slugs it out and has a chin like granite. Look what we saw Chris Lieben pull out a triangle on him. His defense inside Chris Lieben's guard, I have to admit, it wasn't anything spectacular. He got caught. We can all get caught. But then with Michael Bisping, he just stood there and had a kickboxing fight with him. Why would you do that? I don't know. So Akiyama, he's going to get smashed. Now, Nate Marquardt just got his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt not too long ago. Correct me if I'm wrong. But and his striking knocks people out, man. Look what he did to Polaris. I don't know. Nate Marquardt's coming back. He had a defeat recently. But I think he's going to make amends in this fight. So my house is on Nate Marquardt. That's how I feel about that fight. Moving along. Mirko Cro Cop versus Brendan Schaub. Now, I think this is the last we're going to see of Mirko Cro Cop. We have never seen Mirko Cro Cop the way he was in Pride, when he was assassinating people in Pride. Was it right leg hospital, left leg cemetery, or something like that? No doubt, it's true, it's legit. But I don't know, man. I have not seen Mirko Cro Cop come alive. I saw shades of the old Cro Cop against Pat Barry, but what I saw him against Frank Mir in the last round, look, it was one of the most boring fights I've ever seen. I'm a UFC diehard fan. I'm like the biggest fan on the planet with the UFC. Watching that fight with Frank Mir and Mirko Cro Cop, I was just like waiting for something to happen. And finally, good ding, the knee to the head, and Cro Cop goes out. Okay, that was a highlight for me because it ended the damn thing. That's how I felt about it. You may hate me for saying it. Cro Cop is a legend, no doubt about it. His reign in Pride was legendary. But in the UFC, I hate to say this, is nothing short of a fizzle. So for me, Brendan Schaub is an up-and-coming fighter. You still got that going?
Yep.
Don't tell me I've been talking for nothing. All right, cool. Brendan Schaub's an up-and-comer. He's been knocking people out. He's in the heavyweight division. Look, Brendan Schaub, I can only say good things about him. I'm looking forward to seeing him. He's got solid wrestling, striking. He's great. I think Brendan Schaub's going to do the job on Cro Cop, and I've got a feeling that Cro Cop's going to say goodbye. But anyway, I wish Cro Cop the best. I wish he could be the Cro Cop of old, but we all want that. All of us. But I don't think it's going to happen. I reckon those days are done, son. So anyway, moving along. On the fight card, we also have Lewis Kane and Elliot Marshall. Elliot Marshall, obviously, after watching his performance against the dominating performance that we saw against John Fitch, that's right. John Fitch absolutely mauled him. I hope he's been working on his takedown defense. He's got great jiu-jitsu as well. I hope his striking is improved. Last time he cut down to this weight, he looked really skinny in that last fight. So hopefully he's managing his weight cut a little better, and hopefully we see a very, very powerful, strong Elliot Marshall. So I'm looking forward to that fight. Look, Lewis Kane, he's a gun as well. Anything can happen. I don't know which way to go here. Elliot Marshall for me. Edson Barboza and Anthony Njokuani. All right, now Barboza, he's got a submission machine. Njokuani, at this weight, very dangerous. This could be a great scrap. Look, I'm going for Edson on this one. Barboza by submission. See what happens. Also on the fight card, don't really swear. Ricardo Almeida versus Mike Pyle. Ricardo Almeida comes out of Renzo Gracie Academy. Very respectful guy. Look, who could forget that choke that Matt Hughes got on him? That really weird kind of off the side choke and put him to sleep. That was unbelievable. I got a feeling Almeida's not going to be sitting around in anyone's in a turtle position or in any hurry. I think he's going to have worked on concentrating on those hands. So I think I'm going to see a great performance by Almeida. I think he's going to come out striking hard, get the job done, get him on the ground and submit him. Mike Pyle, he's a gun. He's strong in a lot of areas, but I don't know. This could go either way, but hey, I'm going for Almeida. The Brazilians. Now here's a fight I'm dying to see. Kurt Pellegrino, Batman, against Gleison Tibau. Now Gleison Tibau, the Brazilian, is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. In the past, he's really struggled in the later round, in the last, not the last fight, because he did really well there, but the fight before that, he used to seem to gas in the last round. In the third round, he seemed to get real tired and heavy. Well, in his last fight, apparently he changed his diet, the way he's looking at his nutrition and his training and his recovery. Gleison, the last time I saw him, I can't even remember who he fought last time, but he was a dominating performance. It's the best performance I've ever seen from Gleison Tibau. Against Kurt Pellegrino. Kurt Pellegrino's got a great slick submission game. He's had submission of the night on a couple of occasions. This is going to be a great fight. If Gleison Tibau takes the fight to the ground and he tests Kurt, I would love to see Kurt Pellegrino on his back. I would love to see what kind of guard he has. That would be sick. Or to see Gleison Tibau put on his back and see what kind of guard he has. Man, I want to see the guard come back big time. Let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to that fight. Shit, who would I pick? Kurt Pellegrino? Gleison Tibau. Look, Kurt Pellegrino better come out with a win. That's all I can say about that. He might just get cut. But Gleison Tibau's looking strong, looking sick. I'm going for Tibau. Also on the fight card, we have Ben Benitez versus Ian Loveland. Great fight. Potential, some of these fights could be potential fight of the night. I'm going for Ben Benitez in there, I reckon, by submission. There's some other fights, last two fights I'm not too familiar with. Rafael Assunção, I guess he's Brazilian, and Eric Koch, so I guess if he's Brazilian, he'll have a submission game, so I'm going for Assunção by rear naked choke. First round, rear naked choke. Suckers. Dan Miller. Shit, Dan Miller, Nick Catone. Dan Miller, brother Jim Miller, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. These boys are good, man. These boys are solid. Dan Miller by sub. It's done. Thanks for tuning in. Episode 5. Don't push that button yet. If you want to check out, I've got an actual, my radio program that I did the other day on SEN. I'm putting that on my Facebook page too. So check it out. Just hit me up on Fight Fix with Frankie BARCA on Facebook, or personally Frank BARCA on Facebook, and accept my friendship there or ask for it there, and I will confirm it. And you can check out a lot of the predictions on my Facebook page. And finally, the wrap-up will be next week, obviously around Monday, Tuesday next week. I'll be wrapping up this card. Till then, keep the fight alive. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy UFC 128. That's a wrap.